Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Virgo in mid-October 2019. Hello, Virgo. How are you doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Well, here we are quote-unquote, mid-October. It's actually late October, guys. Things happened last week. Technical problems with my camera. I had some things happen over the weekend that kind of took over my life, and so I'm only getting to this now. This is Tuesday the 22nd, so I apologize for the lateness of these messages, but I'm a regular human being. I live a regular life, you know. Also have jury duty now this week, so that's kind of semi-cutting into my schedule. I hope to be able to finish up the mids and personals today, but I don't know. We'll see if I actually can get all that pushed out, because I do have to record Scorpio's birthday message tomorrow. Anyway, that really doesn't have too much to do with you other than to say, I'm sorry that these are so late. Let's get into it. Virgo, I hope you have a happy Halloween if you're going to be celebrating next week. I hope you, next week? Almost next week. Yeah, next week, next Thursday. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing Halloween if you're celebrating, if you're out walking around the neighborhood with your kids, or if you're out partying with your friends, taking spooky jello shots, whatever the hell you're doing. I hope it's an amazing time, okay? All right, guys, shuffled off camera. Main spread is there. We'll shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp is in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is all the information you need if you want to get a personal with me. Follow the steps, and I will fulfill my end of the bargain by providing you with a private video uploaded here to YouTube. But if you have any questions before you actually place an order, feel free to email me at the same address, and I will answer you as soon as possible. Also, guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Do all that fun stuff YouTube allows you to do if you like what I do here, if you find that the message resonates. And yeah, let's get into it. Please show me Virgo's outcome for mid-October 2019. Virgo's outcome for mid-October 2019. Please show me. That got a little jarbled. No, thank you. My God. Did it flip? No. Okay, there we go. I was like, I felt something move in my hand, but it did not fall, did not flip. So, but anyway, we got there. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Your outcome fell to the floor. Fell just like that there, so it goes there. This is crooked. I can see that. And looks pretty decent. Let's go ahead and flip the one card that came face down for you. And let's get into it, okay? Please show me where Virgo is in mid-October 2019. Please show me Virgo in mid-October 2019. Please show me. Thank you. Coming in to mid-October, Virgo, you come in with the Justice card. Major Arcana for Libra, so some of you might be dealing with a Libra, but you don't have to be. Well, something's not right. Or, I shouldn't say that. It's not that something's not right. I think that something is being set right in your life, Virgo. This is a situation that maybe has been long overdue or has felt really time-consuming or really emotionally consuming for you. And you, or the powers that be, thank you, they put that phrase into my head, the powers that be are really seeing to it that something that wasn't fair is set fair, or is made right, or is brought, as the card indicates, justice. There's an injustice, an unfairness, an imbalance that was existing at a previous point that is now going to be settled. Now, whether that's in your favor or not, that's up to you. You know your situation better than I do. It feels, Virgo, that you're very hopeful it's in your favor, but what actually folds out, I don't really know. I think the suspense of it all, or the time until a decision is made, or something shifts, or something changes in your life, or we get a certain outcome, I think like that is proving to be some of the most tensious time in your life as of lately. I think waiting for an answer, waiting for a response or a judgment, waiting for things to settle, waiting to hear from a person, to speak to a person, whatever you're doing. And, if I'm honest, a lot of this feels very law-based. A lot of this really feels like you guys are in court, or you're speaking through lawyers, or you're speaking through official channels, maybe not full-on court, but maybe you're in arbitration, something like that. And if it's not in law, if it's not in law as in the legal realm, it could be in law as in maybe some of you are speaking through in-laws, okay? Now, that's super dicey because I can feel it, but I can't. There's so many players in that particular situation that I'm connecting with at this moment. There's so many players. I dare not try to understand the situation. But basically, it feels like maybe fighting spouses or siblings or something like that. And the in-laws, the parents, are the ones that are the go-between. Either one particular parent or like two parents, go and speak to the other family and something like that. Or if it's not about them speaking through, like the spouse, male or female, husband or wife, it doesn't matter, speaking through an in-law, it's the matter of the in-law is maybe speaking too much and maybe not unlawfully, but erroneously speaking on behalf of a spouse in defense of their child or in defense of, it's whew, this is heavy. In any case, the bottom line here, Virgo, is you want it settled. And I think I recall, oh God, was that back in August, maybe? I think maybe either the September reading or the August, one of those readings, I think it was for Virgo. I felt there was a lot of in-law overstep, a lot of people attacking the spouse of the child. Like, okay, so let's hypothetical. Say it's your mom, right? And you, Virgo, male or female, it doesn't matter. It would be your mom attacking your spouse and you're not stepping in to defend your spouse. Whether that is warranted or not, I don't know. But that feeling is coming back here too. So that energy that was back in August or September is now traveling over here to October for whoever that applied to. Now, like I was saying, in the basest sense, all you care about is a final verdict. Whether that's in a courtroom, through documentation, through papers filed in the county clerk's office, whether that's a mutual agreed upon thing between you and a family member, whether that's a handshake deal, you don't care. The final outcome, you want it ASAP. I think many of you are tired of this up in the air, undecided, wishy-washy, energy that's around you, whether it's your own or it belongs to someone else. Some of you, it's your own energy and you're kind of tired of yourselves. You're kind of tired of being pushed and pulled in a certain direction. I'm really getting a sense in some of your cases, again, to go back to this marriage scenario for someone, that you're married to someone or deeply committed to someone, and your spouse or your partner pulls you this way, and your parent or your parents or your side of the family pulls you the other way, and you're kind of the monkey in the middle here, or you're like the rope in a tug of war. You just keep going to either side, and not like maybe they're fighting over you. Maybe like some of you are like, getting ultimatums. You might be hearing from your husband or your wife, it's either me or your family. And that's a hell of a call. That's a hell of an ultimatum. Because essentially when you marry, allegedly, I hear, you're supposed to merge families. This family comes over, and you meet in the middle due to the union of whatever two members are coming together. And then you kind of meld your energies or your resources in some cases, and you make a good effort to get along, right? That has disappeared for somebody. The effort for in-laws to get along and blend, donezo. Just totally toasted, okay? Not in all situations, of course. But there's this sense that now that you're married, and for some, this is not, I'm getting to that in a second because I feel that too. But for some where the marriage is, for all intents and purposes, solid, it's not going to be trash, it's not going to be abandoned, it's not going to be severed, right? There's this sense of a fallout has occurred, an argument, a disagreement, whatever has occurred, and the spouse is like, look, we are the married couple here, Virgo, or you're saying this to your spouse, take your pick if this is your story, and you're being told, we now make the new family. We are the unit or the union that matters most. Tell your family to step off. Or they sit there in silence and they take the onslaught and the criticism from your family, and they look at you like, are you going to say anything? And you're just sitting there like, well, that's my mom or that's my dad. I don't know what to, and that's again, not an ideal place to be, because I wouldn't know as the outsider. I have no idea what the specifics are, but I could see how that would really create tension for everybody involved. Your parents or your family want you to do a certain thing and be a certain way, and then your spouse says, no, don't do that, or they just look at you like, this is how you're going to allow them to encroach on our union, and you're just like, but it's my mom and my dad, or it's my brother or my sister, whatever. So that's in one case. Now, the other part of justice, Virgo, is about unions, like I said, and I feel that some of the unions, marriages, commitments, whatever it is, they're very tight. In other cases, they're not tight at all. And you're waiting for the verdict. You're waiting for alimony to be assigned. You're waiting for child support to be assigned. You're waiting for the divorce to be finalized, for the paperwork to be notarized, or whatever it needs to be, whatever needs to be done, so that you can absolutely cut loose. It's a mixed bag because, it's a general reading, guys, so there's going to be all different kinds of scenarios here. But ultimately, I think you just want to be done with it, one way or the other, whether it's good news or bad news, whether it's in your favor or it's not in your favor. And if it's not in your favor, you'll deal with it at that point, and it'll become whatever it will become. But the idea of finally, drawing a line under a situation, putting something into an official category of done, finished, completed, right? That's what you want, okay? What else is happening? Okay, so yeah. So, the Four of Wands, I picked it up. Yes, okay, thank you. It's like, I feel like that's where we're going. Four of Wands being above you, often when I say a position is above your starting position, I take it as this is what you're consciously focused on, what you're thinking of, what is important to you in the scenario that we're talking about. So Four of Wands traditionally is a card about the foundations of home, about starting a home, or what home means to you, and identifying a strong foundation there, or something has been assigned and labeled a strong foundation. Now, given everything that we talked about in the Justice card, this is great for some of you. You have a stable home life with your spouse or your partner, or your solo, or whatever it is. Others of you, this is now disintegrating. It's now shifting into something else. You're rewriting what the Four of Wands is, okay? If you're rewriting and it's disintegrating, again, it's based off of, because in relation, if you think of what this is, the base of it is that Justice card. So the base of it is reliant on what happens with the Justice card. Is it shared custody with the kids? Is it visitation? Is it full custody? We don't know yet. Is it full alimony package that you've asked for? Is it a portion of what you asked for? Or is it completely denied? Spousal support, alimony, whatever you want to call it. Is it going to be, once it's all done and dusted and you guys are officially separated, you guys are no longer married to each other, will you remain friendly with one another? There's like a lot going on in your mind, Virgo, about what's going to happen after we get the final word from the Justice card, whatever form that takes, again, legal or not. For those where this situation is changing, where things are not necessarily solid and things are more than likely going to end up severing away from one another, you and another person, or your families grow in distance. And it's weird. Regardless, what makes up your Four of Wands, the the makeup of that scene, right? In this, we see two women. One's hanging garland. What's the other one doing in the basket here? Looks like she's picking up a tarot card from the basket, but there's a basket of fruit nearby. They've got this cloth. It looks like they're beginning to set something up. So again, that gives me that word rewrite. So I'm getting this idea of maybe some of you are, if it's not about disintegrating and if it's not about, separation, it could be about, okay, new rules, new ways of conceiving what our happy home looks like, or what our foundation looks like as a couple, as a family, as maybe business partners. This could still be not romantic, but as I look down and I see everything else, I'm like, yeah, it's mostly romantic for many of you. It's like new rules. Now that we've settled whatever dispute was existent here with the Justice card, going forward, here's how we need to address this situation, or here's how we're going to approach these circumstances, or this is how we're going to address each other. Some of you, if you're getting a divorce, you're going to take it very seriously. You're going to be like, okay, what does the court mandate? The court mandates that visitation with the children on these days between these hours. Maybe courts don't mandate this, but maybe some of you are going into it being like, okay, you know what? For the sake of the kids, for the sake of this, for the sake of that, this is how we should conduct ourselves when we're together. Some of you are really consciously, and remember, I said, this is what you're thinking of. This is what you're focused on. You want it to be decent. You want it to be civil. You want it to be as calm and collected as possible. All interactions with all parties involved, right? That is what you're thinking of. That is what you're hoping for. That is what you're kind of working towards. What you're trying to get yourself focused on and prepared to bring to the table as far as you're concerned, Virgo. What other people do? Questionable. Or vice versa. It's a general. You could be the person who's like, I'm not gonna act this way towards that person. They broke my heart. They did this to me. They did that to me. There's no way I should be the civil one. They owe me. If that's your case, then you know that, okay? But there's something here about, like I said, rewriting, reconsidering, reconstructing what the Four of Wands looks like. Because what I'm sensing, Virgo, is in some of your cases where we're talking a separation or a divorce, it's so long that you've been with this person, or you've had this union, right? Maybe there are children involved. And now to completely sever that, or to begin separation, it's not just, I can't remember whose reading I said this in recently, but there was a general, I think, or maybe it was one of the non-communication readings I did. I can't remember at this point. But when you have a union of two people, it's not just those two people that come together, it's their families. Like I said, there's something here about in-laws, and that being a very sensitive part of the story. When you have two people come together, it's not just them, it's like their family meets your family, and you guys blend together, and you spend time together, you build memories together, you have holidays together. If there are children from the union, children from the marriage, holy shit, both sides care about those kids. You see what I mean? So then when you go to step away or separate or divorce, now we're talking, well, what happens with the kids? Are they going to stay with him, or are they going to stay with you? Oh, they're going to stay with him? Oh, no. Or, oh, who gets the kids? She gets the kids? Oh, to hell with that. And all your in-laws are like, no, that's not fair. And they come to your defense, and they slag off your spouse, or vice versa, or whatever. And it just becomes so convoluted and so confusing and so complex. And that's why I think you or the other person involved, or both of you, are trying your best to be mature about this. In some cases, that might not work. That might not even be feasible to be mature. I don't know. But it's very tender. I can tell you that. This whole situation is tender. Now, if you're not talking about splitting up and this is still about union and some type of justice and there is no breaking of ties, I still feel there's this interest in plotting for the future or considering what are we truly building together. What is what we have now as a foundation of a union, of a family, is that working? Is it, if it's not, how can we change it for the better, right? Something like that is there. It could be, just to go back and put these two together, it could be you're waiting for judgment on a property. Four of Wands isn't necessarily about property, but it is about home and the place where you feel comfortable, right? So you might have a dispute with a landlord or a leasing agency or something like that, and you might be in court for that, or you're considering, if you're not already in court, you might be considering to start legal proceedings to actually file a claim or file a lawsuit against someone. Which, in that case, very, very, very small, this message is for like maybe one person. It's kind of going to be a delicate thing because you still live in the property, or you still lease, or you still are part of a homeowners association that you're going to file a lawsuit against. And you still live in their property. So it's kind of like dicey to be doing that. Kind of risky. Maybe like slap in the face kind of energy. Like, you still live here, but you're going to sue me? Okay. It's kind of like that, okay? Now, moving on. So, the Magician. Secondary Major Arcana Magician for Gemini and Virgo. So here you are, partially here, as this is your secondary major. This could be you. This could be someone you work with in this situation, someone that has a hand or a vested interest in the situation. If not vested interest, they have advice for you. They have some previous experience, some knowledge maybe that they can impart to you. But if it's not someone external, it would be you, Virgo. And yes, thank you. It's like, you know what you're dealing with is delicate. So you're trying to find the best approach to get what you want, whether that be custody of the kids, full custody, whether it be shared custody, whether it be the full alimony package, whether it be to shut out your spouse and give them no fucking alimony, whatever you want, whether that be quote unquote good or bad. I put quotes on it because it's relative to you, it's relative to your situation. I can't tell if it's good or bad. Your intention is to do it with precision, or pursue it with precision, to obtain it with precision, or to make a claim, or whatever actions you take towards what you want. It has to be precise. Precise in the sense of appropriate, correct, right timing, right amount, whether that be actual money, or right amount as far as time spent dealing with the issue, whatever. The Magician uses all the tools in the toolbox, or the tarot toolbox, I should say. So the Pentacles, the Cups, the Swords, and the Wands, right? So Pentacles, money; Cups, emotion; Swords, intellect and communication; and Wands, spirit and drive or endeavor, right? This will require some steady patience from you, Virgo, and a level of mastery that maybe you're not actually on yet, but you're going to try your best. This feels like, I'm not going to allow this situation to get the better of me. I'm not going to allow the other people in the situation to get the better of me. I'm trying my damnedest to be, because the Magician doesn't really care about fairness, but because you have justice here, and that's where you started, I think you want to kind of use a little bit of Justice's energy and a little bit of the Magician's energy and kind of find a happy medium between the two, right? So even though innately, as a standalone tarot card, the Magician isn't caring about balance and fairness. The Magician cares about, what can I create? How can I manifest this for myself? How can I ensure that I get the result that I want, whether it's fair to other people or not? The Magician is kind of an egotist. Not to say that you are, or whoever this person is one, but the quality of the card is, I believe in myself. I don't believe in systems or people external to myself. I believe in me, my own capabilities. So it's kind of a weird, not to overuse this word in this reading too much, but this is kind of like a weird marriage between the Magician and the Justice card, where, again, you don't really care about it when you're the Magician by yourself, but because your energy is also in the Justice card, okay. No, I'm not going to say that because I don't think that's true. Basically, you're looking for advantages, Virgo. Advantages. I wouldn't say it's playing dirty. I wouldn't say that you're playing unfairly, because again, I told you, justice is here. You do care about fairness, but a little white lie never hurt nobody. It's sort of like in the back of your mind. Or if I fudge these details or approximate the details of a situation or whatever you're recalling, whatever you're having to report on or, testify to or give an affidavit for or anything like that. You're just like, well, it's think of it this way. If someone asked you, at what time did this occur? If you know for certain that it occurred at 3:23 p.m., blah, blah, blah date, but you say, about 3:15, quarter after 3, whatever it is, like to you, it makes no difference. Those 8 minutes don't make a difference, but in the court of law, maybe the 8-minute difference makes a hell of a deal or a hell of a big deal. Yeah? So it's like you're tiptoeing, like maybe putting like a half of a toe over the line of what is considered appropriate, especially in law, especially in things that deal with the court system and lawyers and all that kind of stuff. In terms of more casual, just business that you're handling across family lines, if their family says this happened on that date and you know that it did happen, but to cover your ass, you're going to say, no, it didn't happen that day. It happened on Friday. And then they're like, no, did it? And you're like, yeah, it happened on Friday. There is this like manipulation. Thank you. I finally got a word. Because I was like, it's not lies. And again, I'm an empathic person, so this has nothing to do with me believing in someone and giving someone credit when they don't deserve it. What I feel is there is a manipulation here on someone's part, yours, someone else's, I don't know, Virgo. But it's not a straight lie. I hope you understand the difference or get the difference that I'm going for. It's not saying I was there when I wasn't there. It's like, no, I was there, but maybe I was there 5 hours earlier than what I actually am telling you. Does that make sense? It's like, yeah, I was there, but, and maybe, I don't know. It's like a thing. It's like, and it could be that. It could be like something like that. Was this person with you at that time? Yeah, they were there. No, they weren't. I mean, they came like 2 hours later but were they there when I arrived? No. But do you need to know that? No, you don't. It's something like that. It's like a manipulation of facts, a bending of the truth. I mean, I guess you could call that a lie. But again, what did I say about this guy's character? The Magician's character on his own is an egotist. I want what I want and I want it now. And I want it the way I want it. Like a magician, I'm going to make this seem real, even though it's an illusion, it's a trick. Like, what does an actual magician do? Pull a rabbit out of a hat? Did it materialize when the cloth and the magic wand went over the hat? No. The magician had the rabbit inside his jacket pocket. When he held the top hat in front of him, he slid the rabbit into the hat. then put the cloth over, did the magic wand thing, and then, oh, suddenly there's a rabbit in that. No, bitch, that shit was in your jacket, and you put it in there. You see what I mean? So it's an illusion, what the magician does. I have manipulated the circumstances. I have suspended your disbelief, so to speak, to get you to understand things from my point of view. So now we get, again, I'm saying it's not a lie because I feel probably because the magician doesn't think it's a lie, it's not a lie. Does the court think that? Do the family members think that? Do the close friends think that? I don't know. But according to the energy that I'm getting from the magician, it's, I have manipulated the situation to suit my needs. Therefore, I'm doing what is correct. What that means objectively, is that true or is that feasible objectively? That's another story. Wow. I don't know what that means. Because I could, if I were to be a completely objective person, I'd be like, fuck that, that's stupid. No, that's wrong. But as the person here that's connecting with the energy, it's just like, I did this because I needed my outcome to be favorable, and it is. So I win. Congratulations me, I got what I wanted. That's what that feels like. Now, your final card on the board, Virgo, in your main spread is the Ace of Cups. Well, is this what you wanted? Is this what your man? Oh, okay. That just hit me like bang, right in the gut, in my solar plexus. Like, ha, this is exactly what I wanted. Someone here has manifested, possibly through manipulative means because of the magician, a new start at something. Whether that be awarded the alimony in the divorce, awarded custody of the kids, or in some cases, what do you call that? Dissuaded a person from separation. No, baby, let's give this another chance. Let's be together forever. I meant what I said when I said I loved you and only you. Something like that. Whatever this is, new chance at the same relationship you've had. That's what hit me in the gut. Like, pang! Someone says, I want a divorce. The other person says, no, I don't want a divorce. And the person who says they want a divorce, they're like insistent, like, we're not on the same page anymore. We don't want the same things. This and that is falling apart in the relationship. This and that is driving me crazy. Blah, 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 blah. A laundry list of complaints. Whoever the magician is, this is what I felt. So again, please apply it where it applies. And if it doesn't apply, leave it alone. The magician saw all of that, heard all of that, and said, well, we need to go to marriage counseling. Or we need to do this. Or I'm going to start doing that. And then maybe we'll do this and da-da-da-da-da. And really like combated all of the arguments of the other person saying, I want a divorce. This person was like, no, I don't want to give you a divorce. I want to go at this again. And through whatever mending that they've tried to do with their energy here, they get a reinvestment in the relationship. That's interesting because that feels like a victory to the magician, but to the other person, it feels like, was I a fool to stay here? Like, maybe not now, maybe soon, that person will be like, was I duped? Was I tricked into this? Because, I mean, listen, I'm no expert. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor or anything like that. But a lot of times, unless you have like a real deep commitment to change and working on a relationship like 24/7, let's be dedicated to the revival of this. Let's be dedicated to, getting ourselves back on track as a unit. Unless you have that, like, between two people being the absolute focus of the relationship and they mean it, it's going to end up in a shit show, my friends. Because, okay, look, I'm about to go preaching off on a tangent here. But what I'm sensing is there's a potential in that situation for you, for someone else, for whoever this person is, that they want things to remain the same simply because of status quo. Simply because of, this is what I promised you 5 years ago, 18 years ago, when I stood up at that altar and I said, I do, this is what I promised you. And there's like this adhesion to something that is normal or something that is expected. And, you know, a lot of conditioning is in that. Social conditioning because of religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs, whatever. There's also conditioning of fear. I was talking about that in somebody else's reading. Fear is like a big motivator here. And nothing here is like super fearful. But, I mean, as far as like the cards themselves. I sense that though with someone. There's a motivation of, if I lose this, what will happen? Remember? I was talking about that. Rewriting this. What will happen if we change this? That's a concern. And it's above your starting position. So maybe this is you, Virgo. So there's this whole idea of what will happen after this. I don't want to get to that point. So let me go ahead and get back what I already have. That works for somebody. Like that is actual storyline for somebody. Now, if it's not that, if you get a divorce, if you separate, if you rewrite your family dynamic, maybe you don't get a divorce, but maybe start to live in separate homes or whatever it is, there's a new lease on life for some of you. This feels like mostly for people, it's a reinvestment, whether that be a positive or a negative, that will be seen at a later date, at a later time in your life. It's not here in this reading, at least. So it feels like that's most people. There's like maybe 30 to 40% of you who are like, oh, I get a new lease on life now that I am free from this. Now that my husband or my wife finally stepped up and defended me against their in-laws and kind of set up some boundaries, now we can get to living our lives together, and you feel really reinvigorated and refreshed that finally your spouse came to your defense and said, you know what, this is our life together. It has nothing to do with you or anybody else. And so, Mom, I love you, but, you know, you can just keep your opinions to yourself. Something like that. It's all going to come out differently for all of you, but in one of the cases, not one person, but in one specific storyline that might apply to several of you, is that the reinvestment in something that was already kind of donezo or on its way to being done, that's a false. This is a false positive, I guess. Is that a correct term to use? And justice is right next to it. And justice will come back around to this again. If this is given or presented based on falseness, based on fear, based on conditioning, justice will see it again. You miss this first cycle of, you know, being able to get it done, quote unquote, right. Justice will see that situation again. That's very interesting, because that felt slightly ominous as it was coming through me. Slightly ominous, but whatever. Your outcome, Virgo, for mid-October is the Six of Swords in reverse. I'll show you this card upright so you can get used to it. Well, in reverse. Listen, it's going to be bumpy road to get away from this situation, or to have this situation having a final judgment on it, or a verdict on it, or, you know, a line drawn in the sand, you know, put to it. This is not going to be an easy transition. It's not going to be an easy compromise. It's not going to be an easy resolution. People will have their feelings hurt. People will be irate. People will be upset. People will be frustrated and angry, whatever, and all the things. It's just going to happen that way. What I feel for you, Virgo, and that's the thing, some of you Virgos are on the side of, I just, for lack of like better terminology, I'm only going to use this because I can't sit here and think of all the different scenarios. But some of you Virgos are on the side of good, and some of you Virgos are on the side of bad. Meaning, some Virgos, this has happened to you. You're the spouse that was abused by the in-laws. You're the spouse that was called all kinds of names and accused of all kinds of things, right? Others of you, your family was the one accusing the spouse, and you were sitting there in silence, okay? Some of you wanted the divorce, and you're like, please, I don't think this is working out. I love you, but I don't think that we can continue in a marriage. And others of you were like hearing that and you're like, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. You're mine. You're mine. We agreed to this. So you see what I mean? Some of you it's a mixed bag. It's a general reading, for God's sakes. So no matter which side you're on though, right? This Six of Swords in reverse is basically saying, listen, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how everybody else around you is behaving, it feels like it's still going to be agitating for a while yet. It's still going to be difficult to deal with and navigate, right? Because what do we see when we see this in the upright? We see two people in some kind of balloon, airplane contraption traveling across the skies, moving presumably from, choppy waters to calmer waters. That's what we normally see in the traditional Rider-Waite, right? If we put it in reverse, that means that energy is not really moving. It's actually stagnant. The maybe for things to calm down, the desire for things to transition into a better, more peaceful and copacetic feeling is like stalled out. There's a delay on it. There's a stoppage to it. There's a block to it. Or didn't I say this like a false positive? Or did I say that here? So maybe someone is convinced, oh, we're over that now. But I feel it will rear its ugly head again, especially in that case of you've recommitted to a union, a relationship, a marriage that you or the other person doesn't want to be in anymore. Promises of marriage counseling, promises of we'll do better, I'll do better, we'll work on this, I'll work on that, blah, 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 blah. Give it time. This will come right back around. The same issues. You said you would do this. You said that you would work on this. Well, da 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 da. It's been hard, and I just see like an escalation. Not the best outcome. Yeah, not the best. Interesting though. Overall energy is the Fool. Secondary major arcana for Aquarius. So there might be an Aquarius in your life of significance, but does not have to be. So overall, this is about new starts. This is about new journeys. This is about new paths in life, okay? This is about taking a leap of faith towards something. New roads, new destinations, new experiences, new people. Oftentimes, as you can see, even though he's a chimney sweep, and he's not really carrying a bag, he's just carrying his chimney sweeping equipment. But this is someone who travels lightly. This is someone who doesn't take a lot with them as they move forward. So someone here, especially in the case of the divorce, and I don't know the specifics, how long you've been married, what was the courtship like, are there children, what's the in-law situation, I don't know those specifics. But someone in that situation was and is prepared to walk away with nothing. They're prepared to walk away with, the clothes on their back, practically. But that's contextual to everything we've talked about. For those where this is divorce, or this is about separation, or this is about whatever. Somebody was thinking that way, but based on everything that we talked about, I feel some have been dissuaded from it. Some are not getting that. Some are not, taking that leap of faith, going off on a new path. And I'm saying it kind of cavalierly or easily because I feel like energetically that's what this person would want. But, like I said, when you marry, that's a deep entanglement. It's more than just two people. First of all, you're getting the courts involved. You're getting the state involved. Wherever you live. So, unless the court say you guys can get divorced, because I know in some states you have to be separated for a year. You have to have proof that you live at separate addresses. And who, unless you have a lot of money, can afford that? If we got married 17 years ago, it doesn't matter, and we both bought into a home together, but the state says we have to prove that we live separately, what am I supposed to do? Or what is that person supposed to do? Just go find another house or go rent an apartment? Who has the finances for that? When you both bought a home together and maybe you have kids in that home, or you have a mortgage and you have bills, you have car payments and all that kind of shit. So now what? I gotta go live at my mom's house? My mom does, it's just like convoluted and confusing and crazy. somebody would want to easily strip themselves away from that, rip themselves away from that, but it's not happened. Or it is happened in like very few cases that has already happened. And congratulations to that person. I'm sorry if it's not you. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that. But that feels like very imperative to getting all of this cleared up. Because again, where did we start with justice? What is fair? What is right? What is balanced in the situation? Even if it hurts. That's the thing about justice. As many of us know, the cliche, justice is blind. So even if someone else feels free and unbridled by a separation or unbridled by changes in a situation, maybe not a full separation or divorce, but maybe time apart, maybe it's temporary, right? Someone might feel so free and unbridled by that, and they're given a new lease on life, and they're feeling really, whatever, re-energized and all that kind of stuff. That might be justice in the situation, but to the other side, it might seem incredibly unfair, and it might be very painful. I hope you get what I'm saying. So this is a mixed bag. I could go on about it, but got to cut this short because we have other things to record today. Virgo, that's your reading for mid-October. If it made any sense, if it resonated at all, go ahead and hit the like button for me. You can leave a comment below. Let me know how this resonated in your life. I would love some clarity on what the hell this means, because a lot of y'all are going through a lot of shit. You can also share the video, let other people know you like watching my content here on YouTube, and of course subscribe, guys. If you're not already subscribed, that would be amazing. Make sure you hit the little notification bell so you can see when I do uploads in the future. All right, Virgo, upcoming, we have the November reading, the mid-November reading. At some point, I will do more non-communication readings. Maybe I'll save them for December, because I got a lot lined up for November. I just announced this yesterday. I'm going to have to do like probably a general announcement to the channel. Is during Thanksgiving week here in the States, I think that's during November 25th, somewhere in there, I will go live on the channel for everybody, because this channel is growing incredibly. I'm making new contacts with people, new clients. It's been great to get to know people here. And so I just want to give something back. You know, during Thanksgiving, we're meant to, you know, give thanks or show appreciation for the things or the people and the connections that we value. And you guys are something that I value. So I will go live. I'll do live readings sometime during that Thanksgiving week to pay it back to you guys, okay? So be on the lookout for that. But if you're subscribed and you got the notification bell, half of the work is already done, right? All right, Virgo, I'm going to leave it here. I thank you guys so much for watching this video today. I really do appreciate it. Take care.